All right, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight summary on the fight taking place this weekend in the sport of boxing between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. Now, these two heavyweights are finally going to share the ring with each other, and this fight is going to take place overseas this weekend in the sport of boxing between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. And it's two veteran heavyweight fighters that could be fighting for the final times. Both of them could be fighting for the final times in their boxing careers, because this will be both their 50th boxing fight in their boxing careers. So may the best man win. Before we get into the prediction, I have some storylines for you guys to follow for the fight. So storyline number one is, does Deontay Wilder still have it? And I think this is the biggest storyline heading into this fight between himself and Derek Chisora. Deontay Wilder, I think he lost a lot of himself in that trilogy between himself and Tyson Fury. And yeah, you could say the same thing for Tyson Fury. But since then, Deontay Wilder has not been on the end really of success against elite fighters. He is 2-2 since the trilogy with Tyson Fury in 2021, and he honestly seems gun shy in the boxing ring. Like, he doesn't seem like the same ferocious knockout fighter that he once was, that reigned supreme as heavyweight champion for years before he lost the WBC title to Tyson Fury. And since his fight was actually since 2021, when he had the trilogy against Tyson Fury, his percentage of punches landed in fights has tremendously gone down. Like, you look at 2020 with his trilogy, 2021 with his trilogy against Tyson Fury, he only landed 20% of his punches. Against Hellenius, I mean, that was a 2022 first round knockout, so I really can't fault him for that. Joseph Parker, when he lost by unanimous decision back in 2023, he only landed 19% of his punches in a 12-round fight. Looked very gun-shy, looked very confused. Not the same Wilder of the past. And then you look at Zhang when he fought him in the summer 2024. He only landed 16% of his punches and got knocked out within 5 to 6 rounds against Zhang. And in his last performance against a no-namer, I can't even remember the guy's name respectfully, he only landed 13% of his punches in his previous performance. So Deontay Wilder is not the same guy, and we will see this weekend if he still has it against Derek Chisora. A dangerous fight for Deontay Wilder at this point of his boxing career. And for Derek Chisora, will Derek Chisora retire on a high note? Now, I said both of these fighters could possibly retire after this weekend. One is definitely going to be walking away for sure, and that is Derek Chisora. His goal was to reach 50 professional boxing fights, and he has his final dance partner in Deontay Wilder. And he's at the end of the road. This is his 50th fight, and he's 42 years of age. And honestly, Derek Chisora, he's not an elite guy that you'll remember, but this is a guy that you have to respect when it's all said and done, because he's shared the ring with some of the biggest heavyweight fighters that this heavyweight division has seen in the last decade or so. I'm talking about 3 fights with Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, Alexander Usyk, and several others like Derek Chisora, and he's now going to add Deontay Wilder to the list. No matter what version of Wilder this is or not, when you add all of those elite fighters that Derek Chisora has shared the ring with, you can never say that this man never ducked the squabbles, never ducked the smoke. Much respect to Derek Chisora. But enough of the storylines. Let's get to the tail of the tape here. Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has 44 victories, 4 losses, 1 draw in his boxing career. Has 43 victories come away of knockout. That's a 97% KO percentage. And he stands at 6'6" with a reach of 83 inches. Then I'm looking at Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora has 36 victories, 13 losses in his boxing career, 23 victories come away of knockout. Stands at 6'1" with a reach of 74 inches. So the height and the reach goes in favor of the younger fighter, Deontay Wilder, because Wilder is 40, Derek Chisora is 42. So let's head into the game plans to follow, for both fighters to follow. Derek Chisora. I think Derek Chisora should land the overhand right. Now, I think the overhand right is one of Derek Chisora's best punches in his boxing toolbox and in his arsenal, and he loves to land the overhand right when he's walking his opponents down. And that's when Derek Chisora feels comfortable. He's being the aggressor, fighting, coming forward. And what Derek Chisora likes to do, he likes to bend the knees, and then land the overhand right up top on his opponent's head. And 9 times out of 10, that actually works for Derek Chisora laying the overhand right, bending the knees, and then shooting for the overhand right on top of his opponent's head, because Deontay Wilder actually has the height and the reach advantage, like I just mentioned a few moments ago. So I think that could be very pivotal. Next, Derek Chisora should close the distance against Deontay Wilder. Now, Wilder likes to pop the jab a lot, and I've been seeing that, and he could do that with his height and reach advantage that he has over Derek Chisora for this fight. So I think head movement for Derek Chisora is going to be very important to avoid the big shots that Deontay Wilder is going to be trying to land on him. Again, 97% KO percentage. And when he's moving, has the constant head movement, if he's not going to go for the overhand right, you need to go for the left hook up top of the head. I think that could be very pivotal for Derek Chisora. And last but not least, target the body. I think Derek Chisora should target the body against Deontay Wilder. And I think honestly, Deontay Wilder might want to reconsider how he's going to move in this fight against Derek Chisora. I mean, he could be aggressive if he wants, but also if he targets the body, this could make Deontay Wilder rethink what he wants to do offensively in the fight, being the aggressor. So I think Joseph Parker did a good job of this back in 2023 when he fought Deontay Wilder over in Saudi Arabia, when he was landing the body shots against Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder really didn't respond well to those at times, and it made him rethink what to do offensively against Joseph Parker. So I think Derek Chisora should take move out of Joseph Parker's playbook and land some body shots against Deontay Wilder. And we all know Wilder has not been the heaviest heavyweight in this division. Like, he's like one of those fighters that is honestly stuck in a cruiserweight phase, but a heavyweight phase, and he's faced a lot of bigger fighters and is run at heavyweight. So I think it's good to target the smaller fighter to the body and land the jabs and the shots to the body to pin Deontay Wilder possibly on the ropes, and then you land your flurries of combinations on Deontay Wilder if you could pin him on the ropes. That's something also that Joseph Parker did well when he fought Deontay Wilder back in 2023. So those are the game plans that I have for Derek Chisora to follow. Now, for Deontay Wilder, I think Deontay Wilder should also land the overhand right. I just said it for Derek Chisora, but I think Deontay Wilder should also land the overhand right, because Chisora is going to be coming forward. He ain't going to be scared. He's going out with a bang. He's going to be the aggressor, fighting, coming forward. And I think he's slow. And Derek Chisora is getting slower, and he showed that over time. And I think possibly Deontay Wilder can catch Derek Chisora with an overhand right to catch him off balance, and then you can land in a mix of powerful punches to help you win the fight possibly if you're Deontay Wilder. So I think he should do that. Next, he's got to get dirty on the inside. I need that mean, aggressive, Bond squad fighter again out of Deontay Wilder. He's got to get dirty in the inside if he wants to have a chance against Derek Chisora. He's got to land the uppercuts on the inside, put together the power combinations to hurt Derek Chisora. Again, you don't have a 97% KO percentage by accident in the sport, especially at the heavyweight division. So I believe the power is still there, but is he going to be gun shy and not willing to pull the trigger when he has to do that against his long friend and Derek Chisora? And last but not least, Deontay Wilder has to use the jab against Derek Chisora. You cannot be in there just looking for the haymaker shots. That is going to lead to you making mistakes and possibly getting knocked out or getting outboxed and losing the fight by decision. So you got to use the jab. Use some actual boxing combinations to keep Derek Chisora off. If he could pop the jab, having the height and the reach advantage, that could possibly help him win this fight. So I don't think it's smart for Deontay Wilder to possibly box off the back foot for the entire fight. Like, he can do it in sequences, don't get me wrong, to regroup or recuperate from some power shots that Derek Chisora could possibly land, but doing this for the whole fight, that's not a good recipe for success. And he has to avoid the big shots that Derek Chisora could possibly land. So he has to pop the jab, keep him from fighting in the inside, and also make sure that Derek Chisora does not gain momentum in the inside against Deontay Wilder. So those are the following game plans that I have for these heavyweight fighters to follow. But, the guys, you know what? I'm going to go with it. With that being said, I'm going to go with Derek Chisora to knock out Deontay Wilder this weekend in the sport of boxing. Now, honestly, I wish we got this fight a few years ahead of schedule between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder. Like, both guys are at the end of their boxing careers. Deontay Wilder is 40 and Derek Chisora is 42. This will be Derek Chisora's final fight, and both of these guys are reaching their 50th professional fight in their boxing careers. I wish we would have seen this ahead of time, but I think this is still going to be a fun fight between these heavyweight fighters. They're definitely going to slug it out. And I got to go with Derek Chisora because I feel like he's going to end his career on a high note with a bang and ending it, getting a knockout victory against Deontay Wilder. And one of the reasons why I'm really landing towards Derek Chisora, like my heart says Deontay Wilder, but my head is saying Derek Chisora. So I'm going with my head instincts here. And look, I can see Deontay Wilder landing a knockout shot, an overhand right, a devastating left or right hook shot. I can see it, but the Deontay Wilder we've seen since the trilogy against Tyson Fury has not looked good. Like, he's 2-2 in his 4 previous fights. He's gun shy, and you could tell that trilogy took a lot out of Deontay Wilder, and the same could be said about Tyson Fury. So I've seen Deontay Wilder look gun shy in 2023 when he lost to Joseph Parker by unanimous decision. Didn't even look like he wanted to fight in that fight. And then the summer of 2024, May or June of 2024, he lost by Zhang by devastating knockout and didn't even have the ring awareness to know what the hell was going on, had his back turned. You got to defend yourself at all times, got clipped by Zhang. I did not like that. And his reaction time, Deontay Wilder's reaction time is gone, guys. And I'm not sure his legs are still underneath him. What if he takes one shot? Is his legs going to be able to hold himself up? Is he going to be buckled? Is he automatically going to drop to the canvas? Like, I don't know what to expect out of Deontay Wilder. But since 2021 in the trilogy between himself and Tyson Fury, he's only landed under 30% of his punches against his opponents. So that's why I favor Derek Chisora. I think Derek Chisora is going to be the aggressor, walk down Deontay Wilder. I think he's going to land the punches, land the overhand right over the top against Deontay Wilder. Even though he has the height and reach disadvantage, I think he's going to bend the knees, land the overhand right, land on top of the head on Deontay Wilder. I think Derek Chisora will be the more aggressive fighter between himself and Deontay Wilder. He's going to put together more boxing combinations, more punches and flurries against Deontay Wilder. And I think he's going to honestly close the distance against Deontay Wilder. And I think what it's going to come down to also is which fighter is willing to get dirty in the inside. And based off everything I said, I think Derek Chisora is going to be the one willing to bank on himself and get dirty in the inside, land the power punches, and hurt Deontay Wilder. I think he's going to target the body as well, shoot for some jabs to slow down Deontay Wilder, make him second guess what to do in the boxing ring. And I just see Derek Chisora going out on a high note and knocking out Deontay Wilder and his career with a bang. So that is my fight summary on the fight that will take place this weekend in the sport of boxing between Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder.